Joining us this morning, the City Councilman from Madison, District 2, Steve Smith. Steve, welcome in, my friend. It's good to have you.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. No, we're looking forward to it. So you are in a heated runoff. I don't know if that's the right terminology, but you're definitely in a runoff. Tell us a little bit about what's going on.
Well, we do have a runoff. Election is Tuesday, October 6th. At the regular election we had 5 weeks ago, there was 3 of us running for District 2. Nobody made the 50% plus one, so now we had 6 weeks to go out and talk about good things in Madison, what's going on, and hopefully a lot of people show up next Tuesday and get out to vote.
So let's talk about what's going on in Madison. We have got, let's first stop and let's talk about a little bit about the competition. And so school board, some school board experience, but as far as experience goes, just from my perspective as an outsider, you seem to be the more experienced candidate. Would you agree with that statement?
I would agree. I've been in the job for 8 years now. I think I'm proven. I think my experience and my expertise in running things on council is known. People see it each and every day when they drive around town, when they see things happening, when they look at our budget. My fingers are all over that. So I'm proud of my service. I'm proud of what we've accomplished the past 8 years, and looking to do it for another 4.
And so what did you do? But what'd you do before? I mean, this is the first time we've met, personally. So what was life like for Steve Smith before he was city councilman?
Well, in my real job, I'm a small business owner.
Okay. What business?
I own a small truck and warehouse company.
Okay.
So back in, we moved to Madison in '94, and we just spent the first 20 years just raising kids like everybody else in Madison. You move to Madison and you start raising kids, and life gets busy running kids around and going to church and all that. And then the councilman that was in my seat decided not to run again. He moved on to other things, and I just felt like if I want somebody to do that job the right way, then it's going to be me.
Step up to the plate.
That's right. I just always felt like if you want something done, you do it yourself.
Absolutely.
So that's how I got involved with the city council.
Okay. Okay. Well, there it is. Everybody wants to know. Everybody wants to know. We brought baseball back.
Yes.
And we're all excited. I wear a Trash Pandas hat every single day. Literally every single day. Now, I've had to turn it around backwards. No, I'm kidding. I'm totally joking. Kind of, sort of joking. Because I've got 5 seats over there. Section 10, row 1, seat 1 through 5. Not that I'm bummed out about it, but that I've not been able to see. What is the status? What does it look like? Because I know the city of Madison went out on a limb, and there was a lot of heated discussion about should we not, is the debt right, is it, look what the Stars did. I mean, I want to be clear from my position, what we've built over there is not, the Stars is not even a conversation. Like, we're in different worlds in comparison. What I think they did well was they went out and did the research and said, what is it, like 86% of people as they leave a minor league game don't know the score of the game? It's an entertainment event is what it is. And minor league baseball is the most fun thing in the world. There's literally nothing in the world better than a good minor league baseball game. So I'm on board. Like, I'm not trying to be obviously I put my money where my mouth was, and I've got 5 seats I can't touch. So what does that look like? I mean, I know with Corona we have no – I mean, trust me, that I got that email about opening day, and then I watched minor league baseball do its thing, and it's like, good gracious, what is going to happen there?
I'm pretty excited about it. The plan was year 1 you're going to play baseball, and then they're going to start working on non-baseball events. Mm-hmm. So with the Corona coming in, it's kind of forced them to readjust, and they've spent they've done a tremendous job this year bringing in non-baseball events. So they're already kind of getting ahead of the game by doing that in year 1. So when year 2 comes around and baseball's back, they're already way ahead of the game because they've got baseball for 77 nights, and then they've got all these non-baseball events coming back for the second year, which means, greater attendance, greater, publicity and everything else. So we're really excited about that.
What was the nature of the arrangement with the city? Just, I don't, honestly, I wasn't very involved in much of this stuff, and then they were like, hey, want to do a radio show? And I'm like, probably not. Here I am. So explain to me kind of what was the arrangement there?
Well, of course, the ball court, who's the Trash Pandas, they were looking for a place to put their team. They had purchased a team, and so we started talking with them. And then we realized that, number one, Madison does not have a gathering place for any size group at all to do their thing within the city limits. So we try to combine several different things. We agreed to terms with the baseball team. We built a multi-use facility that is a gathering place now for Madison. And the lease is over a 30-year period. And we negotiated that the city's guaranteed $1 million every year from the baseball team.
Boom.
So the stadium itself was $46 million to build. Our liability is really $16 million because we're guaranteed that $30 million over 30 years. So it's a good financial situation for the city. We bring a baseball team in, which bring a lot of people in from out of the city and state, come stay at our hotels, eat at our restaurants.
Yeah, the ad valorem tax base. I
baseball.
mean, it should
Exactly.
do a lot for the tax base and for getting revenue pumped into the city. And I know that's been an issue for Madison because of the way Huntsville's kind of got it choked out land-wise. I mean, just from a land perspective.
Right, and I think that's a good thing. But Madison is a great city, and a lot of people live in Madison. But not a lot of people have a reason to come to Madison for anything other than living.
Oh, what are you talking about? It's the hopping nightlife. It's the you're right.
So we got to create opportunities for people to come and spend their money in Madison to help our tax base and to increase our tax revenues.
Because you have one of the best school systems in Alabama and the country, correct?
Exactly, and that's why Madison's growing so much is because of our school system.
Right.
So you bring up a good point, and we'll probably need to dive into this on the backside of this next break that's coming up. But I want to definitely speak about the growth in Madison because I'm in the real estate business, and so I've been a part of some things over there, and really just watching some things over there. The need for new schools has been a rather hot button topic amongst the citizenry of Madison, the government of Madison, and everyone on the outside looking in that wants to armchair quarterback that thing. And so I know the reason why let me back up. I think the reason why we don't want to build a new high school over there is just quickly is because statistically speaking, that third high school, if you look across the board, it's very unlikely you maintain the same ratings that you maintain, and that came out of the economic growth thing that they put together. But basically, it's a lot harder to stay at the extremely high levels that you're at statistically when a third high school gets added to the mix. Is that correct?
That's what some people say, but they also said that about two high schools, and Madison's got a second high school, and we've been flourishing with it.
There you go. So I'm going to just pitch it over to you here. I want to hear what accomplishment are you proudest of in your tenure as city council?
I think the biggest thing I'm most proud of is just the finances of the city. When I first got on council, the city was having to borrow money to fill a pothole. And so when I got on the finance committee. I've spent 6 years in the finance committee, serving 4 of those years as finance chair. And what we've been able to do is turn that around. First thing I did was go in and pay off all the city's short-term debt. And then we started earmarking certain tax money coming into the city. And through that, we've been able to start paying cash for everything that we buy. Every police car, every fire truck, every dump truck, a lot of the road projects we do, it's all paid with cash.
Funny what happens when you put a businessman in the government, huh?
Well, it makes a difference, I think.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Well, I think our department heads do a really good job. We got finance committee meetings before every council meeting. And the first one I went to, we only had 2 department heads there. And
That doesn't seem right.
That's what I thought. I thought, this doesn't seem right. So eventually, just through asking questions and talking and finding things out, you go to a finance meeting now, you've got all 14 department heads there because they know we're talking money. They know that we're looking at every bill that they spend. And they start looking at their dollars as well. And so everybody's bought in. Everybody's on the same page, working in the same direction, trying to get the biggest bang for our buck moving forward with the city.
It's funny what happens when you start allocating that money, isn't it? Everybody tends to show up. Mm-hmm.
Well, when you start looking at, when you inspect what you expect.
Yeah, there it is.
Yes.
Hey, that's my favorite saying right there. Inspect what you expect.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
What's funny is I only heard that like earlier this year, which is sad because I've been a small business owner for a while. But no, I think that's an interesting concept that I think we're even looking at it as a nation right now. It's a concept that we're dealing with at the national level in terms of businessmen in public office. There is a sense of now you don't speak like a big New York taxi cab driving bully, so that does help. I'm assuming in terms of how you're perceived, but no. So we started talking about growth, and I said we were going to talk about it when we came back. I want to ask you one question about that, and then I'm going to give you I'm just going to give you the floor and let you tell. I just want you, speak straight to the people that are voting, and tell them why they need to vote for you. But my question goes back to that growth concept. We've got Town Madison, we got Cliff Farms, we got all these big projects going on that are when you drive down 72, it is a different ball game from where it was.
That it is.
Daily, literally. You drive down there today, and it looks different than it did yesterday. And so the growth is happening. It's coming. You can't stop it. It's going to happen. I know there was a lot of debate about this school thing, and we're not annexing any more land. We're not doing this. We're not doing that. And I get doing things slowly, because with that you can execute with wisdom, right? When you take your time and you think and you talk and you ask and you listen. But what does the future look like for Madison? Because at some point you're going to need that third high school, and it's probably sooner rather than later. And I know that there was a bit of I don't know about that. And so just kind of, not to put you on the spot, but to completely put you on the spot. What does the future look like?
We said one question, but I think there's a whole lot of different questions
there are.
in there. So.
I'm terrible about that, by the way. It's a bad habit I've got. I've got one question followed by 57 more, and I want you to answer them all with one answer.
Okay.
Take it slow, one at a time.
Well, I think the best thing that's ever happened to Madison is that Huntsville annexed all around us and kind of enclosed us, because that tells us what we have to grow into, and we don't have to worry about annex wars anymore. We know what we got. We can take our time and grow into it on our pace and not somebody else's pace. So I think that's a real positive for the city moving forward. As far as Cliff Farms, that's still in the county. The developer's been told that we'll look at it when they kind of finish up, see what kind of revenue that it would bring in, to see if it would pay for any students that would come with the annexation. So that's just kind of on the back burner right now, and we'll look at that probably 6 months to a year down the road. As far as the third high school, the council did a growth policy about 3 years ago, and we got with the schools. We told the schools this is kind of what we expect to grow into. Madison's going to be about 75,000 people when we're fully built out, and over however many years. And here's our growth policy to kind of help slow that growth and manage that growth. And they blessed it. They said that's a good plan. We're on board, and so we implement it, and we let that be our guideline with every decision we make when it comes to annexations, when it comes to developments. We look at the growth policy. Does it fit? If it fits, we move forward. If it doesn't fit, we turn it down. Now, we do have to realize that landowners have personal property rights. So if there's a parcel of land somewhere and they request it for a certain zoning, they have a right for that zoning. We talk about government crossing the border and getting in people's business, and we don't want that. People want that when it applies to somebody else, but they don't want it when it applies to them, right?
Right.
So we have to be very watchful that all the decisions we make are sound decisions, they're legal decisions, and we don't infringe on people's personal rights. So that's why some of these annexations happen, or that's why some of these developments come on board. Now, with that being said, when a development does come on board, we are now getting development agreements with those folks just to make sure as they build out their development, they don't overburden our schools. We put limitations on how many houses they can bring into the city on an annual basis, whether it's 25, 30, 40 houses, and that way we can relay that information to the schools and they can plan accordingly. So it's all just kind of working together. Everybody's got their opinion. We got to stop growth completely, but that's just not realistic. There's 30,000 jobs coming to North Alabama. People are going to move here. We can't tell people you cannot move to Madison. So growth is coming. And then on the other hand, people say, we got to bring in more business. How can you bring in more business when your story is we don't want to grow? You can't. You're fighting yourself at that point. So we have to be friendly to growth. We have to do it smart, and we have to do it in a way that it brings value to our community, and that's what we've been focused on.
Boom. All right. We have right at 60 seconds before we head towards a break. So in 60 seconds, why is it that people should vote for you?
Well, I think I definitely am the most experienced one. I've again, in my second term, I am seeking a third term. Just my experience with the finances, what we've been able to accomplish to make sure we do get the biggest bang for our tax dollars is huge. We brought in a lot of road projects. We widened County Line Road. We do the interchange at County Line Road and 565. We built the library. We're widening Sullivan Street, Waltrana, Hughes Road. So we got a lot of stuff going on right now. And I just think it's very important that my experience stays on council to make sure we continue the path that we're on.
And you're a small business owner, and that means a heck of a lot
Well,
to those of us who
in my
have small
non-council
businesses.
life, I'm watching every penny. In my council life, I'm watching every penny.
Mm-hmm.
And it does make a difference.
That's exactly right. Well, let's head to a break. And Steve, I appreciate you joining us. Feel free anytime to reach out. We'd love to have you back. If you want to come back between now and the election, feel free. And then afterwards, obviously, we'd love to hear about what's going on in Madison on a regular basis. So appreciate you coming on the show. You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat. I am Zach Walker, your big, beautiful, bearded host. Steve Smith, District 2, City Council, Madison, Alabama. Vote for him. We'll be right back.